Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Hellcat Pilot channel, where we bring you educational videos via a 707 horsepower Hellcat and some aviation stuff via the jet you see on the ramp out behind me. Hopefully the contrast is good enough you can see it. But today I'm in the flight planning room in Sarasota, Florida, in Retrix South in Sarasota, Florida. And I'm getting ready to depart single pilot in the jet, empty, deadhead, back to Cincinnati. Right now it's about 60 degrees here in Sarasota, which is a little on the lower side for Sarasota. In Cincinnati, the temperature is right around, it'll be about 25 when we get there, a little cooler. But today we're going to focus on something one of the viewers asked in the comments section, to focus on some departure procedures and arrival procedures. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to touch on some of that stuff. If you have any questions about aviation or the Hellcat or whatever, I always answer all the questions, either by just replying or making a video like this. So if there's something that you're curious about, leave a comment below, leave a question below.
Sarasota ground, Premier 46 Charlie Kilo, looking for clearance to Cincinnati Lunken.
Premier 46 Charlie Kilo, Sarasota ground, cleared to Lima Uniform Kilo Airport via the Circus 4 departure. Mommy transition as filed, climb via the SID squawk 1166.
Alright, clear to Cincinnati Lunken via the Circus 4, Mommy transition, then as filed. We'll climb via the SID and squawk 1166 for 6 Charlie Kilo.
Premier 6 Charlie Kilo, read back correct, advise ready taxi to parking.
We'll let you know. We'll be coming out of Retrix South.
Okay, so we got our clearance now, and it is as we expected. There's no surprises there. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and get some engines running here and start heading that way.
Okay, so I think we got our problem figured out. So far, everything appears to be working properly.
Via hotel.
So we'll go ahead and we'll taxi out to the runway.
Bravo 1, 35 Charlie Delta, then hotel.
Get a clearance here at a taxi, and we'll get this show on the road. Sarasota ground, Premier 46 Charlie Kilo, Retrix South, ready to taxi.
Premier 46 Charlie Kilo, runway 32, taxi via Juliet Charlie.
Runway 32 via Juliet Charlie, 6 Charlie Kilo. Alright, so runway 32 via Juliet Charlie. That's a pretty simple taxi for us. It's just right out hill. Pretty short taxi is what I meant to say.
Sarasota ground, Skyhawk 60155.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about
to southeast at 2000.
finish up a couple last minute checklist items here.
155. Are you just flying around, or are you going to a destination with and say you requested altitude? Negative destination. Just flying around at 2000.
Okay. Checklist is complete. Let's talk about some departure procedures here. We're going to be doing the Circus 4 departure, and the controller told us to climb via the SID. So in this particular departure, this is an RNAV departure, and there are, the first things I do is I look to make sure I'm at the right airport, and I look for the directions for which runway I'm using. So runway 32, climb heading 319 to at or above 540 feet, then left turn direct to VC, then on track 267, Iziz, or Keys, whatever, however you say it. These things always have weird names you can't pronounce. Then on track 313 to Circus. And then from there, you'll join up with the rest of your routing, and it's depicted here also. Climb to 3,000 feet, so that's important, and we have 3,000 feet set. The other thing that's on here will be our departure frequency, which is 119.65. So you can see using this departure frequency, it's a set list of procedures for the thing they do over and over and over and over and over all day long, and routes airplanes in and around high traffic areas. It has a lot of the information on it they don't have to repeat over and over again. And it's basically a roadmap that they want you to follow immediately after taking off, and that's the departure. And then they have the same thing for coming in and landing, and they call those arrivals. So this just simplifies everybody's lives, basically. And now with the RNAVs...
46 Charlie Kilo, Sarasota, are you ready to go?
Actually, we're going to need about 30 seconds here.
46 Charlie Kilo, roger. Thank you. Advise ready.
We'll let you know. Hold short of 32, 6 Charlie Kilo.
November 6042 Zulu, heading 360.
Okay.
Contact Tampa departure.
So basically, we have it in here.
360, contact Tampa.
And the issue that I was concerned about, that I stopped the cameras for, is now fixed. Ha! Everything is working great. That puts a smile on my face. That's a problem I've been fighting now for a couple weeks. I finally got the answer from calling Rockwell Collins, the people that make this FMS box, and they showed me a secret to fix it, and it worked. So anyway, here's our depiction of our route. We're departing on runway 32, so we're gonna climb up. We're gonna make this turn, left turn, head to VC, and then over here to Kaiser's, then to Circus, and then our transition. That's kind of they call it a transition. You can see the split right there on the road. So when you load this thing in, you have to know what runway you're using. You have to know your transition, and our transition was the Maumee transition. So if you look up the road here, you see the intersection Maumee, which is another split off this split. And then from there, we follow the rest of our flight plan. The other thing this does is it depicts altitudes for along the route, what you should be at, for different things. And this is way too complex to get into, but there's different altitudes for different things here. There's mileage. If for some reason they get congested, they can have you hold at one of these points, and usually that's on arrival, not a departure. But there's also things in here for obstacle clearance, and not so much in Florida where everything is sea level, but the departure procedures out in Florida, they include things like, keeping you away from mountains. If you lose an engine, you have to have certain climb gradient requirements for some of these things. And really, I mean, this is something when you're learning how to fly instruments, which means not being able to see out the windows. This subject of using departures and arrivals, especially the departures, can be pretty lengthy. There's a lot to it. It can get complex. You can just see this paragraph of stuff here. This is your obstacles. Even in Florida, they have obstacles listed here because there's towers and buildings and other such things. Trees within a certain parameter of the runway, all that kind of stuff is listed there. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and tell the tower controller we're ready to go. I have my departure frequency in here. I have my squawk code in here. And because this is an RNAV departure, as soon as I'm going to actually arm the nav mode on the FMS, and it will, when we're at 540 feet, start that turn over to VC, and we'll fly our route as we have it programmed in the computer.
Welcome back, runway 32, cleared for the option.
Cleared for the option for 32, Canadian Bravo Sierra Zulu.
Canadian Bravo Sierra Zulu, on the go, make left traffic.
On the go, make left traffic, Canadian Bravo Sierra Zulu, sir.
Number 3 Sierra Papa, turn left to Delta, contact ground point 9, have a great day.
Left on Delta, ground point 9, 3 Sierra Papa.
Sarasota Tower, Premier 46 Charlie Kilo, ready for departure 32.
Premier 46 Charlie Kilo, Sarasota Tower, runway 32, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 32, 6 Charlie Kilo. All right, we're clear for takeoff. We'll get some lights on. That way he knows I'm moving. Whether he heard that radio transmission or not, he sees my lights come on, he knows I'm departing. That is something that guys that fly in the airlines do. Not not so much general aviation. Those guys aren't really exposed to that level of detail, I suppose. I guess you could say. All right, before takeoff checklist complete. Let's go to Cincinnati. Power's coming up even. Everything looks good. Power is set. Airspeed's alive. There's 80 knots both sides. There's my V1. VR. Positive rate. Gears coming up. All dampers engaged. There's 400 feet. Flaps are coming up. Nav mode's now engaged. Coming back to climb power instead of the takeoff power.
Premier 6 Charlie Kilo, contact down for departure. Have a great day.
Going to departure, you too, 6 Charlie Kilo. Tampa departure, good evening, Premier 4-6 Charlie Kilos off Sarasota, 2,300, climbing 3,000.
Premier 4-6 Charlie Kilo, Tampa departure, climb maintain 1-2000 and ident.
So 1-2000, there's the ident, 6 Charlie Kilo. Alright, so the
4-6 Charlie Kilo, your radar contact, you can proceed direct to circus, rejoin the departure.
Alright, we'll turn direct circus and join the departure over there, 6 Charlie Kilo. Alright, so he just let us shortcut some of this departure. There's a big turn here. He just kind of saving us some of the flying around in a circle here.
Tampa, position 432, Lima Whiskey, 16-3 for 13, direct repairs.
432, Lima Whiskey, Tampa approach. Going to maintain 10,000, Tampa altimeter 3019.
3019,
All right.
10,000, 2 Lima Whiskey.
Do some checklists here, some after takeoff checklists.
55 Mike, fly heading of 350.
350, 55 Mike.
55 Mike, just advise when you're level 4,000. So not receiving mode C.
55 Mike, Wilco.
Ricciardo 4553, fly heading at 190, descend to maintain 5,000.
Landing gears up, flaps are up. Thrust is set to climb. All dampers engaged, the ignitions are back to arm. Our engine sync is on.
Still Kilo November, just maintain
Lift dump is locked, the landing lights are off. The recognition light is on. Ice protection we are not going to need in Florida.
Contact Miami Center 132.35.
13235, 6 Charlie Kilo. Precog light, we got that ice protection we don't need. Cabin signs, we are empty, there's no people, so it doesn't matter what they are. After takeoff checklist complete. Center, good evening, Premier 4-6 Charlie Kilo, 9.6 climbing 1-2000.
Premier 4-6 Charlie Kilo, Miami Center, roger, climb and maintain flight level 200.
Climb flight level 200, 6 Charlie Kilo. Alright, I got 20,000 set in the altitude alerter. And we are on our way. The autopilot's now engaged, so the airplane is going to fly this departure as depicted.
Frontier Flight 90, good
via
evening,
the flight plan that's in the FMS.
128.42.
So,
2.42, Frontier 90. Delta 1280, contact Fort
here comes the turnover circus.
5.15. 2515 Delta 1280.
Here, let me do this. This might make things easier for you guys. There you go. I should have did that
Center American 886, constant
during takeoff.
It's 31.
So there's the turnover circus. Our next point is Hieron.
Transat 2865, how's your ride at flight level 350? We got a smooth ride.
So something I should mention is,
American 886.
you know, these
going to the northeast.
These departure procedures are predicated.
Passing the Tampa area right now.
Every airport has their own
ahead of you at 35.
list of departure procedures.
I don't really have.
They're called SIDs, SID, Standard Instrument Departures, and one airport could have multiple. I mean, Sarasota itself, I think, has 2 of them.
647 Miami.
But a bigger airport, you
886, I could
know, like Cincinnati, Denver, New York, those airports probably have 8 or 9, even a dozen departures. And then depending on,
American 886,
it depends on which way the wind's blowing or the way they're bringing air traffic in that day. Maybe it has to do with another nearby airport, what runway they're using. So they need to reroute the traffic around that. And then not only is it what departure you're using, but each departure you have different procedures based on what runway you're using. And then from there, your transition would be based on, the transition you use would be based on which direction you're heading. Or the entire procedure could be based on which direction you're heading. If I was heading south or southeast of Miami out of Sarasota, I would have not been doing this departure. I would have been doing a different one. I would have been doing the Sarasota 5 departure instead of the Circus departure. And they're always named something silly. There's 18,000, so we'll go to standard altimeter setting of 2992 as we climb through 18,000 feet. Still climbing at right about 3,000 feet a minute.
November 46 Charlie Kilo, contact Jacksonville Center 135.75.
3575, 6 Charlie Kilo. Jacksonville, hello, Premier 46 Charlie Kilo, 19.2, climbing 200.
Number 46 Kilo, Charlie Kilo, Jacksonville Center, roger, climb and maintain flight level 260.
260, 6 Charlie Kilo. All right, 26,000 set in the alerter. What I was saying is they're always named after something to do with the area. Typically, I mean, you get into like New York or something, and they got tons of them. Maybe they name some after the Mets or the Yankees. Here in Sarasota, it's called the Circus because the Barnum and Bailey circus people. If you're not familiar with that, it's one of the oldest, largest circuses in the country here. And they're based in Sarasota. They have a college to teach people how to be circus performers. And I don't know, it was always kind of a big deal in Sarasota, I guess. So in Nashville, they're named after country stars. Like you have the Paisley Four, the oh, I don't know. I mean, anything you can. I'm trying to think of some of the. It's always, and not just the name of the departure, but some of the points in the departure, the actual intersections within the departure, the GPS points, the intersections are named after people, after some of the people that are country stars. And it's like that everywhere you go. Sometimes they're sports teams, sometimes they're maybe a famous person's from there. That happens a lot, like, oh, I don't know. My mind's going blank with some of the names, but there's one of them, I forget where that is. If you know, leave a comment. It's all the Star Wars stuff. So you got Skywalker, you have Yoda.
November 46 Charlie Kilo, contact Jack Center 12517.
125.17, 6 Charlie Kilo. But it's all the Star Wars stuff at one of them. I want to say it's somewhere.
7 Tango Foxtrot, contact.
It's somewhere on the East Coast.
2517.
One of the Carolinas or something, maybe. And I don't know why it is there. Maybe just the guy that designed the approach really likes Star Wars. Premier 46 Charlie Kilo is checking in 250, climbing 260.
Say that again, please.
That was Premier 46 Charlie Kilo, 25-3, climbing 260.
Premier 6 Charlie Kilo, roger. Higher in 2 minutes. Expect at least a light chop, maybe even occasional moderate chop in the climb.
Roger. Okay, which we already...
Jacksonville Hawker 627 Tango Foxtrot.
We already know that. I just came down. It was bumpy the whole way.
627 Tango Fox, Jack Center, climb and maintain level 340 and...
All right, leveling off here at 260, 26,000 feet, crossing over the Brung intersection. All right, welcome back, folks. About an hour and a half has gone by. We've had a headwind, a pretty good headwind the entire time you've been gone, so This is going to be a full 2-hour flight here by the time we're on the ground. We're currently about 12 minutes out from Cincinnati, but if you can see out the window at all, it is actually there's a pretty nice sunset over here. Let me see if I can grab this sunset real quick, because it is gorgeous. Nice sunset. We are descending into Cincinnati. I'm about to get the weather and call the FBO. And we're coming up on 18,000. Oh, great. My suction cup isn't working. The windows are frosted up. In jets, we have windshield heaters. There's always a windshield heat of some kind to keep the windshield from freezing. Otherwise, it would just frost over.
Kilo contact, Cincinnati approach 128.7.
28.7 for Cincinnati, 6 Charlie Kilo. So what's happened now? My suction cup that was sitting there is frozen up. There we go. I think that's as good as it's going to get. Cincinnati approach, good evening. Premier 46 Charlie Kilo, 16.6, descending across Jackie, 12,000.
We'll maintain 3,000, so establish on final approach course. Cleared RNAV, runway 18 left approach.
And that was what happens when two people talk at the same time.
53 past 3,000 for 6,000. Runway 3560, 2.5.
All right. Well, he's figuring that out. I'm going to get the weather at Lunkin.
46 Charlie Kilo, Cincinnati approach. Expect the RNAV, runway 21 left to Lunkin. I had to step on you. Verify information, Victor.
We have Victor. We're expecting the RNAV 21 left, 6 Charlie Kilo.
Got it, thank you. Envoy 3560, climb and maintain 8,000. 8,000.
Okay, let's get the weather over there.
2653, Cincinnati approach.
I actually already got it, but I'm going to let you guys hear it.
Affirmative, pass 4.8 for 6,000. 2653, roger, radar contact, climb, maintain 13,000.
Market confirmation, Victor 2253, observation, wind 200 at 6. Visibility 3, mist, ceiling 1,500, overcast. Temperature -1, dew point -3, altimeter 3023. RNAV, runway 21 left approach in use. Notice airman, runway 21 right closed. Hazardous weather information for Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio is available on HIWA and flight service frequencies. Advise on this contact, give information Victor.
3560,
Market confirmation, Victor 2253, observation, wind 200 at 6. Visibility 3, mist, ceiling 1,500, overcast. Temperature -1, dew point -3, altimeter 3023.
Okay, so
Endeavor 34.
the ILS must be out, or it is out. The ILS is usually what we use on that runway 21 left. That's the bigger.
6 Charlie Kilo, fly heading 360, vector 2 final approach course. Descend and maintain 8,000.
Heading 360, descend 8,000, 6 Charlie Kilo. So we're doing the RNAV, which means GPS.
Endeavor 3423, descend and maintain.
All right, 8,000 set. We're in a turn, and what we're going to do is get our. There's the airport. Here's our track. We were coming in. I'm going to load that approach into the.
That's the 2653 contact Denny Center.
Into the FMS.
37. Good day.
You're going to see it show up.
2653. Good day.
We're going to continue our descent down here. So this will be an instrument approach at night. The temperature is below freezing. So I am expecting to pick up some ice. 3 miles visibility, 1,200 feet, overcast, and or 1,500 feet over.
12. Charlie Kilo, contact approach 121.0. Good day.
121.0, 6 Charlie Kilo. Overcast ceilings into clouds, it's cold, and we're going to pick up ice for sure. So we're anticipating that. And it won't be quite down to minimums, but it'll be a pretty good thing, you know, to record here. I think it'll be a good experience. This will be nice. Cincinnati Premier 46 Charlie Kilo is 11.2, descending 8,000.
Midjet 46 Charlie Kilo, Cincinnati approach, altimeter 3019er, expect the RNAV runway 21 left of London.
Roger. Alright, so vectors for the GPS 21 left. That's in there, we're already on vectors, so I'm going to clean up this mess, get rid of this other route, and just have our approach.
Alpha 915 Cincinnati approach, information Victor Stern at launching, set the RNAV runway 21 left of London Airport.
We'll go ahead and get Victor Castle 915.
There we go. Take a look at the actual approach plate.
For Castle 915, that was the RNAV 18 left for Cincinnati.
Castle 915, you have your choice of the RNAV.
All right, we got our weather.
Or the
We know the tower frequency over there.
Yeah, we'll try to expect the RNAV 18 left for Castle 915.
Inbound approach course is 205. If for some reason we have to go missed, it's all in the box. And it'll be out to the Calif intersection and hold, or vectors around it, whatever we're going to do. Maybe we'll go into CVG, depends on what the situation is. Alright, we do have the local altimeter setting at Lunken. And we are approved for LNAV, VNAV in this airplane. Not LPV yet, actually in February. By about the end of February we will, because our WAS LBV transmitter will be installed. But for right now, we have to do
46 Charlie Kilo to set and maintain 4,000.
4,000, 6 Charlie Kilo. Right now we have to do the LNAV, VNAV, which gives us baro mins of 1198.
Central aircraft has weather information.
So I'm going to put in 1,200 feet baro mins, which will put us 723 feet off the ground. So if the ceiling is 1,200 feet,
runway 21 right, close.
If it's 1,200 feet, we should have the runway in sight. We can go down to 2 miles and 1/4, 2 1/4 miles. We have 3 miles visibility, so we have the visibility for the approach, which is the only thing we legally need to shoot the approach, or to land from the approachers.
3 miss, ceiling 1,500 overcast. Temperature -1, dew point -3, altimeter.
All right, so it's 1,500. I keep saying 1,200, but 1,500 with 3 miles visibility.
Endeavor 3423, 2 miles from Bear, turn left heading 220, maintain 3,000 until established on the bow approach course. Clear RNAV Yankee approach runway 1 at left.
All right. While you guys were away, we ran all of our descent checklists. We are set up
Endeavor 5245, Cincinnati approach runway 1.
with the local altimeter setting. I'm going to give the FBO a call, just let them know we're coming in. And we've slowed to 250 knots because we're below 10,000 feet, just in case people are wondering why I'm going so slow.
Confirmation, Victor 2253.
Signature Cincinnati, Lunken, Premier 46 Charlie Kilo.
Sure, signature, go ahead.
Premier Jet 6 Charlie Kilo, reduce speed to 190 for sequence.
Stand by. Slowing to 190, 6 Charlie Kilo. And for signature 6 Charlie Kilo, we're about 15 minutes out from being on the ramp. We're empty, no passengers. Just wanted to give you a heads up that we're coming in. We'll be pulling up outside of Hangar C there.
Copy that. How far are you out?
15 minutes, 15 minutes.
Copy that. We'll see you in 15.
At the RNAV runway 21 left Longton Airport, Cincinnati altimeter 3019er.
Hello, Hellcat pilot viewers and subscribers. This is Sean checking in with you here in Huntsville, Alabama at the NASA U.S. Space and Rocket Center here. Behind me is the massive Saturn V rocket. The thing is crazy. They have another one here that's not erected. It's laying across the ground with all the stages broken up. But you know, this is kind of the cool stuff you get to do when you're a corporate pilot. You land and you get time to burn, and while the passengers are out doing whatever business they're doing. But I wanted to take a moment to tell you about my new program I've been working on. It's called the Pro-Pilot Playbook. And this thing is a pilot career mentoring program designed to save you thousands of dollars and years of time in your flight training. Through my 25 years of experience in this industry, I put together this program that includes 8 hours of video footage highlighting every tip, trick, hack, and shortcut I could come up with to save you massive amounts of time and money. It gets you into the co-pilot seat of a jet at the airlines in the most expeditious means possible. I mean, this thing takes you step by step through the entire journey of becoming a professional pilot. It shows you how to find the money for financing. That's one of people's biggest hurdles. We show you how to find the money. It comes with a list of thousands of jet operators and turboprop operators. These companies are private companies, corporate operators, charter companies, airlines. It's all in there. Even if you're halfway through your training or getting ready for that next step of submitting your resume, you can buy the program just for that, and the same, you know, send out 100 resumes right after you buy it. If you don't have a resume, that's all right. I show you how to make a resume, what it should look like, how to submit it, what to do after you get the call for the interview, how to handle the interview. It's all in there. And this thing can be done, I don't care who you are, you can become an airline pilot. I don't care if you're thinking, oh, I didn't do that well in school, or, you know, I wear glasses, I didn't go to college, I'm already 40 years old, I can't start a new career. You couldn't be more wrong. As a matter of fact, if you were thinking any of those things, this program was designed exactly for you. So, you know, you can go to Pro-Pilot Playbook.com and check the thing out for free for yourself. See what you think. Pro-Pilot Playbook.com. We'll get back to the video.
So the thing that I did not talk about here is the arrival. They actually pulled me off of the arrival pretty quickly. So the Hardu 4 that we were doing quickly became null and void. But here it is.
Ultimate 28, currently 10 miles from Chewy.
The Hardu 4.
2,600, clear RNAV runway 21 left approach.
Before we even got to the volunteer VOR, we were turned off and sent direct Hardu. And then, I'm sorry, direct Arter, and then from Arter we were sent,
Rear jet 6 Charlie Kilo, reduce speed to 170.
170, 6 Charlie Kilo. I think it was direct Jakey. Anyway, it was kind of hosed up, and I didn't get the camera on quick enough to really talk about anything. But it's just like the departure. There are instructions every step of the way down. Even lost comm procedures.
Ultimate jet 331 Cincinnati approach.
Basically what to expect on your way in. And it feeds right into the approaches here at Lunken, the different approaches we can do. It also has the ATIS on there, which is the weather, the frequency to get the weather.
Stingray 824, turn right, heading 090. All
right, so right now we're kind of on a dog leg downwind here. There's other airplanes coming in. Let me turn on the traffic. So these are the other airplanes that are coming in on the approach. So my guess is he's going to give us another turn. I'm not sure if this guy's coming in at Lunken or what he's doing, but this guy's definitely on the approach. He's at the same altitude we are.
Endeavor 5245, reduce speed to 210. Jet 6 Charlie Kilo, turn left heading 290.
Left turn heading 290, 6 Charlie Kilo. All right, good. He's going to turn us in right behind zoom in 1. You can basically see our entire approach drawn out there, just as it is depicted on the chart.
Stingray 824, turn right heading 160 to multiplies runway 18 center. Stingray 824, turn right heading 160 to multiplier.
Approach ultimate 331, 13 descending 12.
Since I
Charlie Kilo, turn 10 degrees to the right.
10 degrees right, 6 Charlie Kilo.
Runway 24, continue the right turn heading to 220, German localizer runway 18 center.
So since I have my decision altitude put in my refs,
Runway 331, Cincinnati approach, Roger, set the RNAV approach.
it's going to generate
331.
Runway jet 28, maintain 180 knots, prepared to 5 mile final.
when I roll my alerter down, my altitude alerter, it's going to put my bottom altitude in there automatically for me. So the VNAV
Runway 824,
will
1
fly
mile
it
to maintain
perfectly.
3000 until status clear, left runway 18 center approach, maintain 180 knots to wet move.
We're still just right on the tops of the clouds. We are just barely, every now and then you'll feel a bump because we hit one of them.
Enduro 52 to 45, reduce speed to 170, then descend to maintain 4000.
We are just barely skimming the tops here.
Premier Jet 6 Charlie Kilo, turn right heading 340, vet for spacing.
Right turn heading 340, 6 Charlie Kilo.
Ultimate 331, descend to maintain 5000.
Down to 5,000, ultimate 331.
Wisconsin 836 Alpha, Cincinnati approach, runway 18 center.
Yeah, we're in the clouds.
Ultimate 2 week,
And we're out of the
during the
clouds.
descent, contact Monkey Tower 118.7. January 824, contact Tower 118.3. Enduro 52 to 45, on speed, descend to maintain 3000.
But now it's cooled down significantly. Ram air temperature of 2 degrees.
Wisconsin 836 Alpha,
And,
flight present heading vector to final.
There's the icing light. I was just about to say it's cool. There we go. We're picking up a little bit of ice, so I've got the engines on. And I got the runway in sight. Gears coming down. Oh, it's a snowy, cold night there, Cincinnati. I'm transitioning into a visual here.
Number 6 Papa Golf, linking ground, runway 21 left, taxi via Delta.
We got 3 green, no red on the
runway
gear.
25.
Flaps are coming to 20 degrees. We are on a visual glide path. Windshield's clean. I am getting rid of the windshield. I'm going to leave the the wings are coming off. Engines are coming off. Final flaps are coming in. And I was talking about the icing.
500.
The anti-ice for the wings and the engine cell lips. Everything is off. Blowing down to that VREF. He's got those lights on bright. Makes it hard to get a smooth landing in when the lights are so bright they blind you. Alright, there's 80 feet, 50 feet, all damps away. And we're back home in Cincinnati.
All right, well, there was no ice left on the airplane. Everything had got knocked off, or it is below freezing, but you know, the friction of the air probably warmed it up enough to come off, and I don't think there was that much to begin with. But thank you for riding along with me to wintry, cold Cincinnati. And I'll see you next time here on the Hellcat Pilot channel. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, please. Please, I need some subscribers. Leave a comment if you got any questions. I'll answer any questions you got. Maybe I'll even make a video to explain it. We'll see you next time.